No one could have foreseen that the Han River monster would make its entrance in such a horrifying manner, thrusting the film's first climax abruptly and unrelentingly into the audience's psyche. A year earlier, in a laboratory in Seoul, an American professor ordered his Korean assistant to pour an untreated chemical agent into the Han River. The assistant, fully aware that this act could pollute the river, hesitated, but the American professor dismissed his concerns with indifference. Unable to defy the command, the assistant complied, and as thick white smoke billowed, the chemical was poured into the sewer. The countless bottles stacked behind him hinted that this was not an isolated incident. Such bottles had already been dumped into the Han River. A month later, a seasoned fisherman spotted an unusually grotesque fish in the Han River, a creature so bizarre that even his years of experience couldn't identify it. 3 months after that, a man preparing to jump off the Han River bridge noticed an eerie calmness in the water to his left, a subtle sign that the monster had fully formed. As the man leaped, the film truly began. Aaron, an ordinary middle-aged man with no remarkable achievements, had a bright and adorable daughter. His family ran a small shop by the Han River, and as usual, they gathered around the television to watch his sister's competition. Aaron's father sent him to deliver food to a customer, but when he arrived, everyone was staring at the Han River bridge in the distance. Confused, Aaron followed their gaze. This was the first full appearance of the Han River monster, but the crowd's reaction lulled the audience into a false sense of security. Instead of fleeing, people began throwing food into the river as the monster approached. When the dark shadow in the water disappeared, the film's first climax struck. Aaron suddenly froze, staring across the river, as if everyone had been paralyzed. By the time they realized what was happening, it was too late. Once the monster came ashore, the peaceful riverside turned into a slaughterhouse. Panicked crowds scrambled for safety as the monster wreaked havoc. In their desperation, a group of people fled into a shipping container, thinking it would offer safety. However, the monster smashed through the door, and the container shook violently as screams of terror echoed from within. The horrors inside were unimaginable. When Aaron's daughter emerged outside, he grabbed her hand and began to run. The monster was closing in, but Aaron stumbled and fell. When he got up and looked back, he realized he wasn't holding his daughter's hand. Aaron was stunned, frantically searching for her, but it was already too late. Helpless, he could only watch in despair as the monster carried his daughter away. Overwhelmed with grief and disbelief, he let out a heart-wrenching scream, powerless to save her.